What is going on, guys? It is Daniel Wright, and you are here listening to another episode of Paving the Way. And I hope you are doing fantastic today. Guys, it has been a heck of a week. It's been a heck of a year. It's been a heck of a time doing the show this year. 89 episodes in we are right now. And to all those of you who have continued to tune in, continued to support me, to continue to support what we're doing at the company and everything else. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is so much appreciated. I'll be completely honest with you guys. When I started this back in, I think it was like February or so, February, March, maybe. I literally just turned on the screen one day, turned on the camera and, hit live or hit record or whatever it is I hit. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea why I was doing it. I just know that, or I knew that folks had asked me to start something like this. They'd asked me to start a podcast. They'd asked me to start, sharing some of my insights or my perspectives or my lessons learned or things like that. So when enough people ask me to do something, I start to actually think about it. If you know me, I'm pretty stubborn. I resist things a lot. My good friend Brian Hess, we were just talking about on one of our calls the other day about that, as far as, management and delegation and things like that. I said, yeah, this year, it was really, really encouraged for me to start, delegating and, trusting other people and things like that in my company. And he piped up on the call. He goes, was that this year or was that 2019 where that was suggested to you? So he's a guy that's been giving me a lot of suggestions for a long time. Other folks in my life have been doing the same thing. But after a while, obviously, I take people's advice. I take it into consideration and see what I can do with it. So it's been a freaking fun year with you guys. I'll be honest, like there's been times where people come up to me or shoot me a text message or a DM or something like that. And they say, man, like, I really enjoy listening to this, or, hey, I really liked your message on this, or, hey, I'm looking forward to the next one, or whatever it is, referring to this podcast, Paving the Way. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's kind of surprising to me sometimes because I sit and think about it. I'm like, man, like there ain't nobody who's going to turn on their Facebook or their LinkedIn or, their Apple, podcast or Spotify or whatever you're listening to this on and just actually listen to me flap my gums for, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever these episodes run. And there are people who apparently enjoy listening to it. There are people who get value out of it. And honestly, like I've told you guys a lot, I get a lot of value out of this. Not saying that, being conceited or being arrogant or self-centered. It's just that the more I get to talk about this type of stuff, whether it's leadership, business, personal development, whatever it may be, the more it just ingrains it into my brain too. So that helps me be the best version of me for all those who count on me. And I think that, more people ought to put themselves out there. We've lived in this world where it's so easy to hide behind the highlight reels on, social media or, the fake tans and fake makeups and all sorts of stuff, or the people writing checks that their ass can't cash when it comes to driving fancy cars or, having the fancy things. Like you can put on this facade of a life, right? And it's so easy to fall into that trap of, man, like I'm falling behind, or I'm not where I want to be. Well, let's be honest, guys. The only way you're going to get where you want to be is if you freaking hold yourself accountable. And what better way to hold yourself accountable than putting yourself out there for people? It doesn't have to be in this format or on this platform where you're doing a podcast or you're putting, selfie videos out there or things like that. But get yourself an accountability partner. Get yourself a group, a network, something that you're associated with that's bigger than you, that has goals and dreams and aspirations bigger than just you having, and put yourself out there because it's only going to help you grow. It's going to identify what you're actually passionate about, what you actually want to do, and it's going to hold you accountable to do those things. Because it's so easy to just slip into the whole, well, I'll do this for a while, but I'm not going to tell anybody about it. And so you do it a couple of times, it starts to get hard, it starts to get boring, whatever it may be, and then you stop, right? It's game over. And because nobody knew about it, it really doesn't matter, right? You're the only person that knows that you quit. You're the only person who knows that you failed or that you gave up, right? And so I think that, doing this year for me has really opened my eyes to the importance of taking action, of being vulnerable, right? I mean, there's been a couple of episodes I put out that's gotten personal, that's gotten, some people call it vulnerable or things like that, kind of, ripping the curtain back, so to speak, tearing down the walls with you guys. But nonetheless, man, it holds me to a different standard. I'll be honest. I mean, I carry myself in a more confident way. I feel more useful because I'm putting value out to whoever listens to this, whether it's 2 people or 200. It's something that has really pushed me to start turning into a better version of myself. And as I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about before, I've kind of coined the idea from Ed Milet that when he talks about he's addicted to the expansion of his being, right? Continuing to just try and be the best version of him as possible. I've kind of taken that internally and really just taken it to heart. I'm the same way. I want to continue to expand into the best version of myself. And that kind of leads me into our topic today, right? New year, same you. So this time of year, around Christmas time, New Year's, things like that, everybody starts talking about New Year's resolutions, the things that they're going to change starting next year, right? I'm going to really start working out next year. I'm going to start, trying to learn a little bit more next year. I'm going to start trying to be, more accountable for my family next year. All this stuff that you're going to do next year. Well, if you're anybody like me, which I'm sure some of you are, we've all made those statements. We've all said that, yeah, next year I'm going to do blank. I'm going to go on trips. I'm going to spend more time with my family. I'm going to be in the gym more. I'm going to eat healthier more, blah, 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 right? We've all done that. And again, if you're like me and you actually do go to the gym and you do it all year, not just in January, throughout the year, you see that there's influxes, right? So January is a time where the gym gets busy because everybody's on that bandwagon of new year, new you. And then you see it again in about the beginning of summer. Everybody's trying to get their summer bods ready, for the lake or the beach or whatever it is they're doing. And then you see it again typically right before the holidays, because let's be honest, right? If you work out before the holidays, that means that you cannot work out during the holidays and there's no negative effects or consequences, right? Well, wrong, okay, in case you didn't know. So what it is, though, is everybody wants to sit and talk about New Year's resolutions, new year, new me, right? All the bull crap you see on social media. Oh, 2022 was a warm-up year. 2023 was my test year, and 2024 is going to be the year. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is a load of crap, all right? It is a complete load of crap that if you think that just because the day changes to a new year and there's a 2024 at the end of the dates instead of 2023, it just automatically means that it's going to be a new you. You are sadly mistaken. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news when it comes to that, because it is the truth. Okay. New year does not equal new you, right? New you equals new you. And you have to make the decision to become the new version of you. And that doesn't start with the change of a calendar day. That doesn't start with a New Year's resolution. That doesn't start just with, oh, I'm going to go sign up at the gym. I'm going to go do this. It doesn't start with the idea. It starts with taking the action. It starts with putting your money where your mouth is, putting the rubber to the road, and just taking action on being the version of you that you want to be. Okay? So my encouragement to you is this. If there's things out there that you're wanting to improve on, if you're wanting to improve your family life, if you're wanting to improve your marriage, if you're wanting to improve your business, your health, your whatever it may be, don't wait till January 1st, right? Because the competition, if we use this for an analogy purpose, the competition at the bottom is extremely thick, right? You get sucked into the whole, oh, everybody's doing it on the first of the year. I'm gonna be that person too. And then as they all start to trickle off, you're going to find yourself saying, well, my buddy Joe trickled off. My friend Trisha, she trickled off. My brother Brandon, he trickled off. So I can too. right? You're following the crowd. You're setting the New Year's resolution, following the crowd. You're falling off the bandwagon, following the crowd. Okay, new year, new you doesn't exist. New you is what exists. All right. You have to make the decision on your own to find something big enough and important enough that's going to keep you motivated and disciplined and held strict to your plan far past what everybody else does. Because when they all start to fall off the bandwagon, like everybody does every year, you're going to be right there with them. And you're going to be listening to the same conversation 1 year from now saying, dang, Daniel was right. I shouldn't have just jumped on that bandwagon because I said I was going to do blank at the beginning of this year, and I stopped doing it after 3 weeks because everybody else did too. So, yes, there's the philosophy of, going far together is good, but make sure that the people that you're jumping on the bandwagon with are the ones that are winners. They're the people who are serious. They're dedicated. They're not the ones that are just sitting there talking a load of crap at the bar about what all they're going to change and what all they're going to do. And you know that they're going to be at that same bar the next week talking about the same thing, bitching about the same stuff, going on and on and on and on and on about how they just can't get ahead. Well, it's because they can't stay committed to something. So as you go into the year, as you go into the holidays, spending time reflecting on this past year, spending time, goal setting or, looking, kind of casting the vision for your personal life, your professional life, whatever it may be, I encourage you to really latch on to something that means something to you. If you want your health to get better so that way you can spend more time with your kids and having fun with them and playing sports with them, latch on to the fact that you want to be a healthier parent, not just that you want to get healthy. So find that deeper reason why. If you want your business to grow so that way you can better provide for your team and provide more opportunities for growth and advancement and income for them, say that I want to provide more opportunities, growth, and advancement for my team, not just I want my company to grow. Okay. You have to put very specific reasons, very specific whys attached to these goals that you would set for yourself. Otherwise, they're meaningless. They're just words. They're just ideas. They're just thoughts that can disappear just as quick as they come into your mind. So as you're thinking about this stuff, find something that you can latch onto that's bigger than you, that's bigger of a reason to stay committed to it when it gets tough, when it gets boring, when it gets monotonous, right? So then the other side of that too is an idea that I have learned from Alex Hormozy. And he's big into fitness and business development, personal development, things like that. And he always likes to preach. He says, when he was doing consulting in gyms, as a personal trainer and stuff, he would tell folks, hey, don't start something for a day that you can't or won't do for a lifetime. Meaning, if you absolutely love chocolate ice cream, right? You've always loved it your whole life. You're 30-something years old, 40-something years old, and you've loved chocolate ice cream, and that's your special treat, and you enjoy it. Do not start a diet that says, I'm not going to eat chocolate ice cream, because you're actually depriving yourself of something that you actually enjoy. Now, I'm not saying that you should indulge in chocolate ice cream, but the point of it is don't try to commit to something that isn't realistically going to work forever, right? I was on a fad for a while that said I had to work out 7 days a week. I had to move my body 7 days a week. Otherwise, I felt like I failed. And I did it for probably close to, I think it was somewhere around 400 or 500 days, about a year and a half or so, that I worked out every day. And eventually my wife opened my eyes to the fact, she said, Daniel, it's great that you can, form a habit and do it every day. She says, but what happens if that habit gets broken by outside circumstances? Can you get back on it? I'm like, well, that's a great question. So I broke the habit, and it was very painful to break the habit. If I'm being honest with you. And it just got me to think, though, that, you know what, Daniel, working out 7 days a week for the rest of my life is probably not a realistic expectation or goal for myself. So now I've kind of switched it. I said, okay, my expectation for a long-term plan is to work out 5 to 7 days a week. If I can get 7 days in a week, great. If I get 5, great. If I get less than 5, not great, but I'll survive, right? So when you're going into this year, more specifically, whether it's to the health stuff, the business development stuff, whatever it may be, don't start something that you're not able to continue, right? So, whatever that may be, don't start something for a day that you're not willing to or able to do for a lifetime. And look at it that way. Look at what's realistic. What is something that I can start training my life into just being a part of it? So um, there's different things. I look at like I enjoy reading every day. I kind of picked up the habit of reading at least 10 pages out of some sort of business or personal development book every day. There's really not much of a reason that I can't do that for the rest of my life. To take 20 to 30 minutes to read some sort of a book to help me better myself. That's a habit that you can pick up and do for a day because you can do it for the rest of your life. Are there going to be days where you don't read, you miss a day for whatever reason? Probably. But I promise you, your life won't end. Okay. So, all this to be said, I've rambled enough about what it means to hold yourself accountable, what it means to put yourself out there, to get an accountability group, accountability partner, not join just a bandwagon of people setting New Year's resolutions because that's just the cool thing to do. And when you do decide to actually pick something up or set a resolution or set a goal or an expectation for yourself, make sure that it's bigger than you and it's got a reason bigger than you that is going to pull you through the times that you don't want to actually do it. Because I can promise you, you won't want to always do it. That's just how life works. And then lastly, like I said, don't start something for a day that you're not able to do for a lifetime. Because if you're able to do it for a lifetime, you will not just get quick results from a fad or a little 30-day challenge or things like that. You will get long-term results that will sustain you and that you'll get to enjoy the fruits of those results. So, guys, like I said, this has been a freaking fun year. It's been a ton of fun. There's been times where I've gotten on this camera and not wanted to at all. There's been times where I haven't got on the camera, where I've flat out made a post. I say, guys, I didn't have a lot to really offer right now, so I'm going to go ahead and skip today. And the more that I do it, I mean, I think that's maybe been 2 or 3 times this year, to be completely honest, which I'm okay with that. All right. I'm definitely okay with that. You guys have always been supportive. You've been encouraging, and I appreciate every last bit of it. I am more than likely going to be taking the next week or so off, going to be doing some traveling, spending it with some family and friends for the holidays. So I don't want to commit and say that you're going to be getting blessed with my presence over the next week or so. But we do have some things in the works. We are looking to kind of ramp this up a little bit to kind of increase the content, the guests, the settings, everything like that to really kind of take it to another level. So we do have some things coming. I don't know if it's going to be ready to go by the first of the year, but it is on the radar. We are working on it, and we're just looking to try to continue to bring more and more value to you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, from my family to yours, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, whatever holidays you celebrate, I hope you have a very merry one of those. I hope you have a great new year, and I hope that you have enjoyed 2023, that you have made the absolute best out of it, and that you are looking forward to a fantastic 2024. So guys, thank you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you.